So recently we had an incident. It was a incident over the holiday break, or long weekend, I guess. It wasn't really a holiday break. And it involved a dog that we've met before, a very nice dog, very well trained. One of the best trained dogs that we've actually seen, but young, 6 month old, I believe. And what ended up happening is we were kind of wrapping up the picnic, cleaning up everything. Everybody was kind of going home. And I want to say it was probably 5, 6, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it was like 3 or 4. Either way, everybody had pretty much left. I was loading up the car, and our daughter had asked to go see the neighbors who were out on a picnic blanket with their new dog, or newer dog, who she's met before. They've had play dates. She's been in the house. She walked up, sat down, just, didn't really do anything. No big movements. She's not one we have to worry about with that. Our son, however, he makes like darty movements, which tend to make dogs a little nervous. But we've taught our kids dog safety, dog etiquette. You walk up to them, you make sure they're comfortable with you. My brother has a dog. My mom has a dog. My brother's dog was a puppy when he got her, and the kids are very good with it. But she sat down, and within maybe a minute, the dog bit her in the face, specifically around the eye. You could see some teeth marks above the brow, under the eye, and then a small little incision right kind of near the tear duct. Luckily, took her to urgent care. There was no issues. They told us to, they cleaned it, told us to use some triple whatever ointment, Neosporin basically, and just keep it clean. They put her on 2 types of antibiotics. One of which, I guess, turns your teeth yellow if you use it under a certain age, like when your adult teeth come in. So we had that changed to a pill, which in hindsight was a tougher decision, but I still think we would have made that decision because getting a 4-year-old to swallow a bitter pill when you crush it up, because we got a pill crusher, we did all that, was awful. We had to mix it with Snapple apple is what we did, and it didn't make it great, but it made it tolerable, and it was still really bad, like really bad. We originally tried it with, what did we try it with? We tried it with peanut butter. That didn't work. And then we tried it with something else. A lemonade. We tried it with lemonade. Absolutely didn't work. Sour and bitter, they don't go together. So sweet, overpowering sweet was the way to go. So Snapple Apple is one of her favorite drinks ever. And we did the Snapple Apple. It made it through. 1 bottle got us through just like a 3 days dose. Well, actually, it was six doses, but it's a 3-day dose. We had to take it in the morning and then at bedtime. 2 of the hardest times to get a 4-year-old to take any kind of medicine, either waking up or going to bed. I think each time it took about an hour to get it all down. It was nuts. But in any case, that happened, and we were a little taken back by it because we've never had this kind of incident before, and we don't blame anybody. Things like this happen. It's perfectly fine. No damage was done on either side, so it's neither here nor there. It doesn't stop us from going over there. All of that's fine. But it was something that I would think about now because, our kids were pushing us for a dog. We are very much dog people. I don't know that we're going to own a dog. My son actually had said after that he wants a cat. He knows that when we had a cat, it scratched him in the eyelid, and that's why we had to find a new home for it. But he said that, and we've told him that she didn't like anybody that came after she came. So she came with my wife originally before I met her, before anybody came. So she didn't like anybody. And she just felt like everybody was taking attention away from her. So my son now says that we have to get a cat, or we should get a cat, but it should meet him first, because if it meets him first, then in his mind, his 6-year-old mind, then it will love him and not scratch his eyes out. I don't know if that's true or not. Historically, I've never been a cat person, but I'm coming around to the idea of having a more self-sufficient pet if we decide to get one. I also find with a goldfish, because that's pretty easy and cheap, and cleaning the fish bowls isn't great, but hamsters and things like that are pretty bad too. We've had bunnies, we've had dwarf hamsters. They're all really hard to keep up with. And with traveling and things like that, finding somebody to watch it who doesn't have a cat that's going to eat it, just, it's kind of difficult. Plus, everybody that we would have watch it typically is with us on the vacation. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to get a pet. But long story short, we have reassessed dogs. We still like dogs. My daughter's favorite stuffed animal is Puppy. It's a little Thai Beanie Baby puppy. I shouldn't say little. It's actually huge. It's like 5 times the size of a normal Thai Beanie Baby. It was actually my wife's when she was a kid. But that's what she sleeps with. Doesn't mind it. Now, she normally gets watched on Wednesdays and Thursdays outside of daycare. Just because daycare is outrageously expensive. We like it for the social aspects and that she's learning things when she goes there, but cost-wise, it's insane how much that costs. So 2 days a week, she doesn't go there. She'll go to my mom's or my mother-in-law's. And as I mentioned, my mom and my brother both have a dog. My mom has a miniature Schnauzer who's about 9 now, so she's pretty up there. Really laid back, really great dog. My brother has about a 2-year-old golden who still acts like a puppy, but looks more like an adult dog now. She's a little less well behaved. She jumps, she can mouth every once in a while, she licks everything, but she's a really sweet dog. And she does listen to an extent, for the most part. And a couple days later, she was actually scheduled to go over there and be watched. And we actually warned my mom that she might have to come here because we weren't sure how our daughter was going to react to seeing a dog, even though a dog that she's familiar with. Because again, she was familiar with this dog too. It just happened to be an incident. So leading up to that, she said, yeah, I don't want to go there. Like the day of, she's like, I want you guys to walk with me. So my wife and I walked her over, kind of walked her in the door, made sure the dogs were out on the deck and let them kind of come to her at her pace. And within 10 minutes, we were good to leave. And then another 10 minutes, about 20 minutes, a half an hour, she was back to normal behavior, perfectly fine. And she doesn't even blame the dog that bit her. She's fine with it. To the extent of, she knows it happened, she understands it, and she doesn't blame the dog either, just it was something that happened. And I mean, they're animals. It's stuff like that will happen. Obviously, you hope that there's no permanent damage or anything bad, but it can happen sometimes. And it just so happened that dog was in a nippy mood that day. It also was at the end of its lead, so I don't know if maybe that had anything to do with it when it came up. Maybe it accidentally closed its mouth when it, pulled. I don't know. It's a very well-behaved dog, to be quite honest. So it was very out of character from what our experience has been. So still not getting a dog, but you might be getting a cat? Maybe a goldfish. I don't know.